Bombad.
Welcome to the Bombadcast.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
You know that's going to end up in the episode somehow.
Oh, hell yeah. It's like the Jabba.
You have it
burp.
isolated. You have it isolated on my end. So, all right, bring us in.
Okay.
Pretty sure I farted on last week's podcast, too.
Did you
but
really?
Don't put that in there.
I didn't know
I think
that.
I might have. I think I caught it in my headphones when I was doing dishes. I was like, wait, was that just a spray or did I was that audible?
Okay. What is going on, my Bombad people? How we doing today? We're, day 86 of the quarantine. I haven't cut my fingernails for some reason. And I've been ordering a bunch of, as seen on TV, sunglasses from the 80s that are supposed to prevent any UV lights from getting in your eyes. So I'm doing really good.
I was going to say,
did
you bought the HD glasses that were essentially just like yellow construction workers safety glasses?
I bought those.
Good
blue
for you.
blockers.
I
bought
almost
amber vision sunglasses.
You almost completely derailed my entire night tonight, Scott, with the whole I haven't cut my fingernails for some reason comment. I don't know why that just almost sent me into the floor laughing. I haven't cut my fingernails for some reason. I've lost control. I shared on my Facebook. I don't know if you saw. You ever watch Rugrats when you were a kid? I know it's like a little before your time, but the reruns are classic.
Oh, dude, they're great.
Rugrats is classic, dude. But classic Nick.
Yes.
But I shared it's like a meme now where Stu is up making chocolate pudding. I think it's when Angelica, there's an episode where Angelica's staying the night at their house, but he's up in his robe making chocolate pudding. And Dee Dee comes in and she's like, why are you making chocolate pudding, Stu? It's 3 a.m. He's like, because I've lost control of my life. Rugrats is forever it's funny when you're a kid, and it is freaking hilarious when you are a full-grown adult.
You know who made the music? There's a weird music trivia here. Welcome to the Bombadcast.
Welcome, guys. You're used to this.
Mark Mothersbaugh, it was the singer of Devo. So he made all Devo, Whip It Good, that band. And Uncontrollable Urge. They have some great songs, but he wrote all the music for Rugrats. And then if you look up the other stuff he wrote a ton of stuff for 90s cartoons. I'm pretty sure what's the one about the Katie knows it. Hold on.
Wait, tell me. That was my decade.
What's the Nick cartoon that you like so much? The one that had the Australian Rocco's Modern Life. Pretty sure wrote the theme. Modern
Rocco.
Life. Yes.
I wasn't allowed to watch that when I was a kid because I think they said butt. I
think they had something suggestive sometimes.
Yeah.
I think he was wasn't he a single, he was kind of a single dude. It's like a sexual SpongeBob.
Dude, he tried to get laid in that cartoon, I'm pretty sure.
I'm
pretty sure that cartoon was like The Simpsons for 12-year-olds.
Yes.
Which is the actual Simpsons if you're in the 80s, I guess. So,
what's up, Bombad fam? Welcome.
What's up?
We have a
if you're a new listener, welcome. If you are a classic Bombad, if you're a part of the Bombad fam already, you've been with us for a while, this is
so normal.
This is part of the norm.
No guest. There's no guest now. It's just the first 15 minutes are just.
There's no guest.
Pure nonsense.
We did no notes again.
No, this time's no notes. We're getting loose. This quarantine has made us insane. My fingernail, I can't type.
Fast and
Listen,
loose.
this is what happens when I type.
I'm gonna keep talking to you guys right here because Scotty in doing his Foley work, Scotty completely ruined his recording. Oh, please leave this in, please. Oh man. Oh my gosh. Maybe we can't keep this in, but this is pure gold.
I'm back. We're back. We're recording.
I wish this was live.
This is me.
I didn't make it any easier.
This is my fingernails on the keyboard. This is what it sounds like. It's like scratching.
I have just about the same. Like it's like backwoods mountain man fingernails, because you have to be able to grab onto. You have to be able to reach into the stream and grab a fish like a bear out. Like pull it out and like dig those nails in there. You got to really dig them in.
Jerry,
also, what's funny? Grab a hawk out of the sky.
That's badass.
Wrestle a wild turkey or a deer to the ground. Well, I do what I can. My beard's coming back, so
yes.
Me and Allison, dude. Okay, I was like, what was it? She found a video, or there was a video on Facebook. I think it was of me opening up something for my new studio down here. My new studio is essentially a cat tower and 2 quilts, sectioning off a corner. But
studio is
my
such a big word. I would say office, just to make it sound not as fancy.
Office. This is the Bombadcast official studio, and it is officially official. Rick, get out of here. Go back home. There's a quarantine. Gosh, that guy.
Villanueva, everyone.
Where even were we going? Rick, shout out Rick.
What I was trying to get to was, with this entire monstrosity of an episode already, I forget.
I was going to
now.
say my beard looked amazing. Sorry,
Okay.
go on. It's right before I shaved my beard, and it was epic. So anyway, continue.
No, what I wanted to get to is, if you can't tell already, this quarantine has made us quite stir crazy. Jerry and I have been paired up with our significant others for a prolonged period of time, and we've been trying to tease. I wish you could see it. I can't make this up. Jerry's literally holding a Zhao Yaoza action figure and smiling and looking at it completely unscripted.
I was thinking, you ruined it. I was trying to think of a joke about how I'm like, my quarantine beard is currently at Zhao Yaoza facial hair levels, where it covers all my face except for my nose, my cheekbones, and my eyes and forehead.
Yes.
An antenna.
I just wish no one could see it.
But like it's thin. It's like thin, so it's like there's a layer if you can't see any skin, but it's like so thin. It's like the hair is my skin.
Yes.
So
you should have seen it. He literally picks it up. And
it's been on my desk ever since we recorded the We Serve Droids episode.
He just been giving.
Man, we were talking about.
Oh, that was a great episode.
We were talking about
hope everyone enjoyed that.
The Ronto is still here too.
The Ronto in your bed.
I think these things are just. No, it's moved from the bed because Allison told me that if she rolls over on it one more time, I'm gonna have to get an apartment. So
it wasn't the purchase of your Skywalker saga that caused any issues. It was the Ronto in the bed.
It wasn't blowing $250 that we didn't have with a credit card that I'm going to pay back with probably tax incentive money.
Yes.
Or whatever government check I'm going to get. I'm joking. I'm going to pay it off responsibly. We have good credit. Blah, 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 blah. I'm letting you guys really into my personal life tonight. But it is definitely the Ronto action 3 3/4 scale Ronto with Jawa bucking action. There, you can hear it right now. All that's missing is the swoop bike with the dude with the tall hat on it.
I wish we could see his front, the swoop bike guy. So, this leads into our discussion. I know the Bombadcast can be broken, but the big discussion we're going to discuss today, what you're going to hang out and maybe take away with you once this is all over, is the idea of Star Wars being broken. And yes, there's a very interesting thing that can be stated about the idea of something being broken. Jerry has been the brainchild for a ton of episodes recently, and Jerry really developed this one. We've got a couple in the works that are going to be pretty cool coming from the both of us. But Jerry, what do you mean by the phrase? Because something must have inspired this before any of this took place. What do you mean? Can Star Wars be broken? Besides
I got
the special edition VHSs. How can Star Wars
besides that Star Wars was broken in 1997 and has never been repaired. So episode over. There you go. Close the book. I didn't mean it, Joe. I didn't mean it. Anyway, so I get to thinking about the little catchphrases that get thrown around too much because I'm an overanalyzer, and they end up getting tossed around in the drying machine, the washing machine that is my brain, until out the other end pops this idea of this quintessence or this question for the ages, if you will, for fandom of how many times have you heard this breaks Star Wars? This breaks Star Wars. I've heard it at least for a couple of things in Last Jedi from even some of my friends. Bombs can't fall in space. The thing that really, I guess I never really heard that breaks Star Wars for people, but the big thing you heard it with was the Holdo maneuver. And I, again, in very classic Canon Junkie form, have in my shrine of things everyone hates from Star Wars,
He's grabbing it, boys and girls. He's grabbing it.
Okay, drum roll. Amilyn Holdo, Black Series action figure, which is amazing, actually. I love it.
Yeah.
She's beautiful. Very purple, very awesome. She has pew-pew face action. Mm-hmm. She makes the words with her mouth whenever you squeeze her. I'm joking. She doesn't do that. But a lot of people said that the Holdo maneuver breaks Star Wars. And I had very smart, intellectual friends.
Me too.
Who thought that about Star Wars. And I'm like, no.
I had a friend who was upset about the Yoda striking the tree. Like, immediately after the movie, he was very upset that Yoda used the Force to burn the Jedi tree on TLJ. He said it was just too overpowered. It made no sense. And I was like, it's little things like that I think people cling to and they get upset about, and then they claim that it broke Star Wars, and it might have for them, which is an important thing to acknowledge. But the idea of Star Wars being broken is kind of ridiculous because it within itself is a ridiculous thing. Right. So I don't know.
Let's get that. Let's go ahead. Well, I was going to say, let's get that clarified now.
Yes.
Star Wars will never be broken.
Yeah.
Star Wars, I don't believe can, as a franchise, be broken. How you feel about Star Wars can 100% be broken.
Yes.
And every single one of us have the line. There is a line, and we're going to probably find that out tonight. What our lines are.
I can say mine. We'll I can definitely state mine, but keep going.
But our line of what if they cross this line, I don't think if I'll ever come back. And I'll go ahead and say, because you know how I am. I'm okay with Jedi Rocks and the special editions.
Of course.
And I love Amilyn Holdo.
That doesn't break Star Wars for me either. It doesn't. It's something I don't like, but it will never not feel like Star Wars because I know the original creator had an intent to do this. And honestly, Star Wars has always had bands in it. Star Wars has always had music involved. John Williams in the back and then Zhao Yao's in the front. It's just like it's.
We could have good fun going back and forth, me and you, about that stuff in good fun and good, good-natured discussion, and have fun and entertain people with how much we hate each other.
Yes.
But the thing is, and maybe this will be something we could talk about tonight too, Scott, is how to react when something seems to break Star Wars for us.
Of course.
I think that could, because in classic Bombadcast fashion, we give you the laughs, we give you the nonsense, we give you the thinky stuff. So we give you a little thinky tonight. I don't know why I'm saying thinky, but there it is.
There it is. And with that being said, dealing with everything related to breaking Star Wars, this has not just been a sequel trilogy thing, because you can easily look back at the original trilogy and find moments that are kind of, this is strange, this is kind of not normal, and then you can find moments also in the prequel trilogy, which is a big one that Jerry can kind of discuss, because right now we are thankfully living in a prequel renaissance where people kind of forget the stuff that was said about the prequels back in the day. I mean, if you talk bad about Jar Jar, people are almost kind of like now like, okay, that's... Yeah, like when JJ originally said, we're going to put the skull of Jar Jar Binks on Jakku, we thought about doing that. And, like, the populace reacted like, oh, yeah. But, like, any Star Wars fan, like, on this level listening to the Bombadcast probably was like, that's a little distasteful. Like, you know,
I think I was like, because I had learned by that point to go, ha ha ha, yeah, that's a funny thing.
Yes.
But can we stop with the Jar Jar? I think that was the point where I was finally like, aha, okay, all right.
Yes.
But yeah, he just was there to make the kids laugh, man.
Yes.
Calm down. Like,
Yes.
calm down, JJ. Like, go
Or
have another Monster Energy drink.
The part people
with your hat on
mentioned-
backwards, JJ, and just go. I'm sorry, I'm going off on JJ.
No.
Darn you, JJ Abrams, creating The Force Awakens. You broke Star Wars.
Oh, with a name like JJ.
Sorry.
It's
I
not
just
George.
imagine JJ. JJ's got the hair of like, and the glasses. He looks like he comes to set each day on a skateboard. With like a hat turned backwards.
He's a little
like
too old to be on a skateboard.
Like he's 100%. What's the actor's name? I know his name. I've forgotten it. There's the gif of him walking up saying like, "Hello, fellow kids." Like that's J.J.
Steve
Abrams,
Buscemi.
100%. Steve Buscemi. Yeah, it was like 100% Steve Buscemi, like just walking up like, "Hello, fellow kids. Hey, you want to shoot a scene about Rey today?" Like you wanna shoot a scene where we lift a rock? Yeah, let's do it. That was Last Jedi.
Oh, it's TLJ, man. Broking Star Wars.
But no, you're back to now that my dumb ramblings are over. Scotty, you're right though that it's throughout all the movies, and I can speak a little bit to some of the prequel stuff. In fact, I've been preparing to do I've been rewatching the 4K. Box set release.
So awesome.
Just to and I rewatched all the movies just recently on Disney Plus too.
Yeah.
Right before it came out. And then I am now again on a rewatch trying to, really go in depth because I want to do a review of them. But I was watching, I think it was Attack of the Clones, and it's the big Dooku Yoda fight.
Yes.
Which, don't get me started on the crazy re-edit that George did and didn't change the music or anything, so it sounds like a chopped up mess whenever Dooku's trying to escape. Have you noticed that?
No.
Go watch the original. It's a completely different sequence. They changed the sequence of events, like how, I don't know, they almost make Dooku wait too long now.
Wow.
Here's another, man, we're about to get into the special edition changes of
I want us to be the
editions
first
of the
people to market that, because that is something that can be
we're going to do an
interesting.
episode. That's going to be one of our quarantine episodes.
It's going to be one of those Bombad build-ups where it's super analytical.
Of course, next week we got a really cool episode coming up for you guys. Of course, we'll drop some details about that at the end of the episode. So.
But keep explaining the what breaks it. What's something that
what people got so upset about in there. I remember there was a couple things. I remember some people being like, well, and this was a couple years after. This was down the road after I was out of high school.
Yeah.
So like the first maybe 5 years. After a couple years, people were like, I don't know, man, just kind of make like Yoda had a lightsaber and now he's just like, he was all old and now he's on Dagobah, like he can't move. It's like people can't get past that. We had the better special effects, so George wanted to do Yoda in his prime fighting. And then now it's like, it almost for them, a lot of people, that's one wall some people can't cross. That's one line that people have where it's like the prequels, all this new crazy stuff that the Jedi can do happen, and it makes me wonder why they didn't do that kind of stuff in the originals. In the story wise in the original trilogy, even though I know they couldn't because of those restraints, it breaks it for me. That's one. Another, and this is one that actually made me think of this episode, Scott, was when Dooku says he starts to shoot Force lightning at Yoda. He goes, I've become more powerful than any Jedi, even you. And he shoots the Force lightning with that cool, little hand tilt that he does. Just very subtle. And Yoda catches it and throws it back. And then catches it again and, it disappears in his hand, or he absorbs it.
And then
also how Dooku shoots it at Obi-Wan earlier, and Obi-Wan deflects it with his lightsaber.
Yes.
That's the big one. So many people after that were like, well, why didn't Obi-Wan teach Luke how to do that? In the whole day and a half he had with him on the Falcon.
Yeah.
Why didn't he do that? Why didn't he teach him the lightsaber? He was just teaching him to
like
deflect.
7 hours.
I don't get it. Why didn't he do that in the 5 hours they had together?
Yeah.
Which again is like, I know I'm making it light. I'm making light of it. I'm making it light. I don't know what I'm saying. But seriously, I forgot about that, Scott, until I was watching that, and I was like, oh yeah, people were like
upset about
this,
that.
like really ruins Return of the Jedi for me, and this, and again, if it does that for you, that's fine.
Of course.
But it's funny to me how many times you hear
broken.
And it's mainly online. Again,
yeah.
We can deal with this in our normal lives. Just we want to go online and complain about stuff. That's what social media is for, to an extent. It could be for more positive things, but we want to make people agree with our opinion, or else. That's where it gets wrong, and that's where these lines. Your line is not someone else's line, but these lines have existed.
Yes.
Since the Ewoks came into being, since Darth Vader was made, when they said Darth Vader was Luke's son.
Yes.
Or Luke, the other way. Darth Vader was Luke's father.
Yes.
That made people upset.
Yes.
There's been every Star Wars movie, just about, except for the first one, has had something.
Maybe. You can almost say the first one.
I think so.
Maybe. I don't know. That's the thing. Like, there's a lot.
Not until 1997.
Yeah.
Not until 1997 with the first one, when Jabba first showed up.
Breaks it for me. No. There are a few things that I can say just with the prequels alone that you could say, man, that broke Star Wars for me, and I would understand, though I don't think it truly breaks it in the sense of like it's unwatchable now. You know what I mean? Like I just, the idea of the planet core is something that I think is pretty silly. How someone would be able to take a ship through the planet core, which would be magma,
which is all water.
Yes.
It's all water on that planet, man, because space magic.
But also, they might mean it in a metaphorical way, not in a literal way. So
like the heart of the planet, and stuff. Yeah,
yes,
kind of. We say we're going through the heart of darkness.
Yeah. I don't know. That's one thing I can kind of interpret from that, and I imagine that might have been one of the complaints you might have heard as well. I
actually honestly never heard anything about the planet core until recently and stuff, and honestly maybe until now in this moment. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I have thought about that before, how that's like, it's really weird that the core of Naboo is just fresh water.
This nice cold water.
And it could be salt. It could be salt water. I don't know if the salt. No, I'm getting too sciencey. Science and Star Wars do not mix.
And that's the part. Wait.
It's not Reese's. It's not Reese's. It's not a Reese's cup. It's not chocolate and peanut butter. It kind of is.
Yeah.
It is. But don't get into the nitty gritty of like, is it crunchy or creamy peanut butter? Mm-hmm. It's always creamy. Okay?
Yes.
There are no nuts.
No.
There are no physical nuts to be evaluated here.
But to kind of go back into your point, can Star Wars be broken? Yeah. You can look through the most recent films, which are receiving probably the most amateur and professional, observations right now. It's both. It's both ends. It's both amateur and professional, based on how you understand Star Wars and how you interpret Star Wars is how you will claim if something is broken or not. And TLJ, honestly, was the one that kind of challenged a lot of the viewers of these films, especially when it came to the science falling in space, which, I'm going to be real with you, that's nitpicking, and it's really annoying. When you watch it, when you watch it, that's not the point of that scene. You're not supposed to watch it and say, "Well, wait a second, how?
Wait,
yeah,
wait,
yeah,
those giant balls fall in space." Yeah, no.
It's truly.
It was
one
so
of those
frustrating.
things.
It's frustrating because I had a friend who actually kind of liked TLJ, but that was one of his big issues. Now cannot stand it and kind of hasn't liked anything since, and made a big deal, which Star Wars is a big deal to people. That's why we make a big deal. We're so passionate about it.
Yes.
Made a big deal about how I can't believe this is the first Star Wars movie that's ever come out that I'm not going to buy. And I'm like, why do you have to make... And I think that leads to the big issue of why it seems like we can't have a discussion anymore.
Yeah.
It's because social media, it seems like I sound so old right now. Social medias, all the Facebooks and the MySpaces and all the books and stuff. No, but all of the social medias, man. I don't think it's that. I think the conversation still needs to exist. We still need to be able to talk about these films.
Yeah.
But the hate for the prequels that the prequels had, that kind of hate can be on blast in today's society because, and it's like, if someone has an opinion, it's almost in your face. You can mute it. That's why you got to be careful about, we did our positivity episode, you got to mute. But like, it's, I don't know. I feel like the conversation should exist, but it should exist respectfully. And
of course.
It's just all up in your head, and I think I completely derailed your point, whatever you're trying to make. So
no.
We're talking about the bombs falling in space, but like seriously, like we feel like we have to get our displeasure out because we want to find other people who feel the same.
Yes.
And it's just us of a different opinion don't need to always assume that you're trying to change my opinion to yours.
No, and sometimes
because it's not.
Well, sometimes it's difficult because it's very easy on these medias and these forms of communication to make a blanket statement. A blanket statement, I don't know the exact phrase. A statement that they don't need to validate. And that's one thing that I think a lot of people have frustrations with. I myself, if you're going to make a bold statement, Star Wars is broken because this, and then they don't know how to validate it. It's just, why make a statement at all? But if you're entitled to your opinion. But your opinion's got to have at least some backing that will make, not logical sense.
It doesn't even have to. It doesn't even have to have facts. It just needs to be like presented in a way that like, here's how I feel. Not this is the way it is, and you're an idiot if you don't agree with it.
Yes.
That's the problem, and you don't have to straight up call someone an idiot for it to end up feeling like that's what you're saying, I don't know, like that. We're getting on a completely different topic. I think,
I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's like, honestly, solitude has made me very salty.
Yes.
And so here we are.
Okay. So you know what I can do right now? And I'm not even kidding. I'll go on a spontaneous search. There's a subreddit called r/saltier than crate, and they are all about hating the sequel trilogy. And I'm sure we can find some really good material.
If enter saltier than crate, you go, Scotty. Only pain will you find.
That was pretty good. But
you're welcome. I think that every time someone talks about something.
Well, if the only thing, and the word break is really complex. I don't know if Star Wars is going to be broken, but Star Wars is beautiful because it can be self-referential in a weird way. Like the fact that the Life Day was mentioned canonically on The Mandalorian, that is not breaking Star Wars. That is it being self-referential in terms of something that we all know exists, but we didn't know it really existed. Like it was a confirmation more than anything.
It's the diegetic music. It's like diegetic music that we talk, like that David Collins talks about, the music that exists in there. Like the Imperial March is an actual song in the Star Wars universe now. And it's not just because of Solo.
No.
It's not just, everyone was like, oh man, it was in Solo. Oh man, you posers.
Wasn't it in Rebels?
It was, you posers, it was in Rebels first, man. It was they did like a parade march, like upbeat version of it.
Yep.
Almost exactly like the parade march in Phantom Menace versus the Emperor's theme.
Well,
it's so good. Good.
Well, that's the thing. It's the idea of it being broken, but it's also self-referential. Now, it sometimes makes jokes within itself, like the one thing that really kind of I'm thankful for that hasn't happened yet. I wouldn't say it would break Star Wars because that would be a very difficult pencil to break on your forehead. Like, let's be real. Like, how could it break all of Star Wars? Like, truly, it would almost be impossible. But if at one point I don't think it would break Star Wars, but it'd be something I'm like, okay, that's just bizarre. If a character was like, what are we, in a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away? Is that what we're doing right now? Like, if a character yelled that, I'd be like, okay, that's a little too much. But
I don't know, Scott. I don't know. You don't like it whenever Han calls Jabba a human being, so
that doesn't break it for me, but it does ruin the scene.
Sure.
It does
I'm
ruin
just
the
kidding.
scene.
I'm joking. Let's be honest. That entire scene ruined that scene for you.
Yes, yes. The fact that it even exists.
I think in the new 4K version, I got to rewatch my older version, man. But I think that they moved Boba Fett. Was he standing right beside Jabba when he turns around to see Han?
I thought he was further in the back. Maybe
I thought he was, but he's right beside Jabba whenever Jabba turns around and goes,
Mibuki.
and stuff. So because I remember watching that the other night, going like, "Whoa, wait a second, what is Boba Fett? Has he always been there?"
Did that break Star
rubbing
Wars
my eyes.
for you?
I'm rubbing my eyes. It broke Star Wars in the best way. I was like, "Yeah, man, have him riding in a baby Bjorn on Jabba's chest, and maybe everyone will love it even better." You know.
That visual was
Can you
incredible.
imagine Jabba wearing like a Mommy and Me papoose on his front, and Boba Fett's just sitting there knees up at his chest, going "You're no good to me, dead Solo." How's it going? We're cool right now. Just wait till the next movie. That could break Star Wars for some people.
Okay, well, what would break it for you? Is there a breaking point? It would have to be it would have to be someone winking at the camera and being like, "What's up, Star Wars fam?"
Yeah. Do you want to know whether I've had moments. Again, I don't know if it breaks where I've almost been "Oh, I don't know if I like that." A couple big ones in Rebels. Whenever the second season episode, the finale where they're on Malachor, and this is something that a lot of people didn't really care for, but it doesn't bother me now. I find that I'm whatever. But the helicopter lightsaber blades, I was like, how's it even possible?
Yeah, that was one of them too. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Then I was like, is it really necessary for me to think about the physics of a lightsaber blade?
Yes.
A blade made of light that connects with another blade? I don't think so. I don't need to really think about this too hard. Whatever. It happens. And I don't hate it now.
No.
It's just, I guess with me, I don't know why I'm so zen.
Yeah.
With Star Wars. I give Star Wars so many, I can, even if I'm I don't really care for that, I'm just man, whatever. All of the prequel stuff, there's stuff that I'm man, that's kind of cringy. Man, in Return of the Jedi, I don't really like the line where Luke is talking to Leia on the bridge. I'm going to out myself right here. I don't like the line where Luke's talking to Leia. I think I've said it before on here, and he goes, talking about Darth Vader being his father, which I'm also Leia's not immediately wait, so he's my dad too? Which is funny.
Yeah.
But it's the part where he goes, I know I can turn him back to the good side. And why are you calling it? I'm why are you calling it the good side? Is this
weird.
It's funny because my wife made the observation when we were watching Rise of Skywalker in December, whenever I am all the Sith and I am all the Jedi, she leans over to me and goes, that sounds like a couple 12-year-olds, a couple of kids on the playground playing. Oh yeah, I'm all the Sith. Oh yeah, well I'm all the Jedi. Boom! Well, I blew you up in your throne, and all your followers are dead now. It's all dead. I said no take backs. But that's kind of in the DNA of Star Wars. But also, it's why didn't Luke just say I know I could turn him back to the light?
To the light.
You can still be kind of cheesy, but just a little George, pull back just a bit.
What a funny analysis.
I do have times where I'm George, just pull it back a bit, man. But I just love the weirdness too much sometimes.
It's so weird because that's so amazing because you can essentially, it's a weird phrase, but you can bathe in it. Like, you can live in those moments because
There's tons of them.
yeah, there is. Like
There's like a multiplicity of them.
any of Anakin's lines in front of the fireside, like by the fire.
Oh my gosh.
It's just so the kiss that left a scar that once broke my heart. Like whatever the line is, it's like it's horror. It sounds like a poorly written MCR song by an 8-year-old. It's just like it's.
I was gonna say, don't make fun of MCR.
No, I would never make fun of Jorway.
No,
Jorway is amazing, but it's just like that. The phrasing was just like it's like when you do your George. Why I really, like when you,
dude. And I said you guys heard if you haven't listened to me on Around the Galaxy, go listen to it because I talked. I think I've mentioned it on here before, haven't I? Where like all I do to get enjoyment out of those creepy lines is to go. For canon's sake, I'm like, okay, this dude was taken when he was 10. He didn't really have much interaction with girls.
No.
Or at least and like, he was told, you can't. And now he's like, oh man, what's happening down there? Oh no. Oh man. Oh no. What am I going to do? Probably shouldn't say this next part after doing that bit. But if you can imagine George Lucas saying all of the lines, it's funny. Think of George Lucas in the 90s writing dialogue for a 20-year-old, for a 19-year-old, and a 24-year-old person. Yeah. This is a love, like forbidden love.
This is from
Lucas was trying to write dialogue. With a 50, I think it was like 50 at the time or something. Yeah. He was well within middle age.
Yeah.
Trying to write love dialogue for just out of teenage. Just think of it. That kiss has become a scar. I'm haunted by the kiss you should have never given me.
That's good.
Very well, milady. Saga. I can't think of the lines now, but like just think of George, like think of all those lines in George's voice.
But wait, it kind of goes back to your point.
I truly, deeply care. I love you.
Love you too. It kind of goes back to your point though. That doesn't break it for me.
I hate them.
It gives me a different way to look at it because if it does break it for you, that's completely fine. I can almost understand why it might actually break it for you. But it can't ruin, essentially to me, it will not ruin all of the Attack of the Clones.
Right.
It will not ruin all of Star Wars. For Star Wars to be broken, it would have to literally be like, the only way it can be broken to me is if it was super fourth wall and like a lightsaber like cuts the front lids of a camera off and they're like, cut, get a new camera, and they show the set of a movie being made and be like, okay, that's like unbelievably Austin Powers. Like it's just like
or
so
have
ridiculous.
Like the opening that a lot of people wanted for Rise of Skywalker to be like Luke Skywalker waking up in his hut.
Ugh.
And like going like it was all or like the opening crawl to be it was all a bad dream. Like you guys are terrible writers. Did you like write all the sitcoms in the 80s and 90s? You plebs.
Seriously.
I don't even know if I'm using that word correctly, but I just want to use it because I
like that word.
I feel like plebs. I don't know what that really means. Plebeians.
Probably really pissing off some people, but
I probably am. Apologies. I'm but a stupid white man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. It would really take a lot for Star Wars to be truly broken in my eyes. It would literally have to be just so tongue-in-cheek, or not even tongue-in-cheek, if it's tongue bursting out of the side of a cheek. It would have to be so, like, truly ridiculous. Like, seriously, it would have to be like that, like a movie set literally just being exposed halfway through, or the HoloNet. In Rebels, whenever, like, I forget his name too, but the droid played by Steven Stanton, the C-3PO to Chopper's R2-D2. Give me a second. I'll think of it.
I always do this. Canon Junkie, yeah, right. But anyway, when he gets like thrown off the ship and is like getting surrounded by the butterfly creatures in space
the greatest.
and singing.
Dude, that's my favorite. That's honestly one of my favorite.
Oh,
moments in all
see
of Star
that
Wars.
when I first saw it, I was like, "What is this? What is happening?"
Weird.
Like when it first started, it was so bizarre, and I was like, "What is happening right now?" Probably the first time you ever saw Jedi Rocks is how you react. Like, what is happening? I don't hate it now, though. I don't hate it, but I'm like, that is so out of left field. It like you do not see it coming. Then all of a sudden he's like singing. I'm like, what is this? Is this some improv skit that me and my friends are writing? What's going on? But no, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. But that is, that's a thing that almost like most of my things were in Rebels. You know.
Yeah.
I've even had some stuff, man, where I've said if they do X, Y, or Z, I don't think I'll like it.
Yeah.
And I've been proven wrong.
Exactly. That's the thing. And I think that's how it's supposed to be. Like, truly.
Yeah.
I think that's how it's supposed to be a lot of the times. Because Star Wars is all about pushing you to the next level of where you should be thinking and where you are. That's my opinion, at least. I think Star Wars should always be, like, really thought-provoking, really maybe kind of testing how you feel on certain things and challenging you as a person. And this could be as little as that, as the musical moment. But you got to realize when you take a step back, let's be 1,000% real with each other. You are literally watching a kid's cartoon. This is designed for the ages between like 10 and 14. And that is it. This is not, this is not a deep analysis. I mean, but you can't analyze it that way.
That's the thing about Star Wars stuff is there are little moments. Like they try to make it for everyone, which is why I had another conversation about. I think I mentioned something about how I was like complaining about people not liking. I was complaining about you, Scott, about people not liking the Ahsoka episodes.
You know what? I've changed my opinion, and I'm not kidding because I kind of took a step back. I did. I was. Did you rewatch?
Did you rewatch the second one? I want to watch it again, but
frankly,
dude, the Kessel stuff
was sick. Kessel was sick.
It's choice,
and we're going to talk about that on our. We are going to talk about that on our
next. After next week.
Yes, we will.
Our after art show's coming up, man.
AP5. But yeah, no, dude,
AP5.
I love the spacewalk.
AP5 sounds like an app, like an abbreviation for an app or something. It does. I'm gonna bring it up on AP5 and see if I can change the exposure on it a little bit.
Kind of does sound like a setting for an Instagram filter.
Sounds like Adobe or something. Some version of Adobe. I'm
gonna find that part where AP5 sings because I really do love that because it's so silly and it's dude. I'm not gonna lie. I would love a Star Wars musical. I like musicals. A Star Wars musical would be sick.
Yeah,
would be really awesome.
Is the moment that gets closest to it for me. I think.
Yeah.
Where I was like, if they were to like in a serious movie where it's not like if I'm coming in like this is a Star Wars musical, a musical set in Star Wars, I'm down. Let's do it. Whatever you want to do, man. It can be canon or not. Let's just have fun, okay?
I agree.
Like make a good movie, entertain me. That's what I want. I'm zen, man. I'm zen. I'm Shirut Imwe.
It's the line? Let me find the lyric. It's amazing to see.
It's amazing to see.
I fit perfectly.
It's like he's got that like monotone voice.
And this wonderful, beautiful, simply, and then he gets picked up by the ghost. I
tell you what I do love about that scene is you hear him hit the back of the he goes into the, and I'm like, that's kind of crazy that they're like, that's really cartoony.
It's amazing.
Like that's straight up the most cartoony thing that happens on Rebels.
It's amazing. That whole episode's hilarious with Pablo Hidalgo with the glasses. That's
a great episode. Yeah,
it's great. Droid.
Wait, was that meant to be Pablo Hidalgo?
Oh yeah, I think so. If I'm not mistaken, double agent droid, and they had Wedge peeing. Like, oh my god,
because that was Josh Gad. Who played that character?
Yes, it was supposed to be Pablo. I think.
Push my glasses up. I was actuallying you. I just fansplained you. I'm sorry.
Did you really? No, it's okay.
Yeah, but
too bad.
It happened.
Too bad I don't let a car. Too bad I can't even make the joke. I was gonna say, too bad I didn't let a cartoon break me.
Spit it out.
No,
Technically, you did because the graphics in the '90s weren't the best. So let's just leave it at that.
Better now. No. It's just an interesting argument to be had.
I haven't got there yet, actually.
Because I know. I'm sorry for our listeners. This is kind of all over the place, but it's one of those things. Like it's a dense topic, but it's only dense if you allow it to be. And that's the whole interpretation of this. If you're getting caught up on bombs dropping in space, then maybe you're not really getting the point of the entire moment. And that's okay. You don't have to get the point of it. Obviously, you're not looking hard enough. You're paying attention where your eyes shouldn't be. And that might sound really ignorant, but you might not have the best intentions if that's something you will. I don't know.
I know what you're trying to say.
I'm pretty unapologetic, Jerry. I'm sorry.
You're good. No, you're good. No, because I'm kind of the same way. Like I mercilessly
It's frustrating.
Would throw that back at my friend. Like really? Like you're going to bring the laws of physics with you into a Star Wars movie?
It's a Star Wars.
With newsflash: explosions and sounds can't happen in space either.
No, and that's a big one.
Blink.
That's a big one.
We don't blink when they happen. It's just like where it is. It really is where your tolerance stops.
Yes.
And there's no, honestly, I'm gonna say there's no shame in that. If you didn't like I'm gonna stop talking about balls
Ball
dropping in space. That happens a lot probably in Star Wars, honestly.
Oof.
But yeah, what color? Never mind. So, do we have Scott and Chris back on here from We Serve Droids? Man, this is getting really risque. I'm going to blame it on them. But seriously, it's okay if the bombs falling in space did it for you. You're like, I can't go on because that's fine. Just don't try to make anyone else feel stupid that they didn't think that was dumb.
I agree. You know? And then maybe is just the root of the problem because I have a hard time trying to convey that only because I get fixated on other things like you're a terrific human being.
Scotty, me and you come here. We don't just come here for the pew-pews. We come here for the deep intellectual thoughts, dude.
Of course.
And not that other people don't, but we all go. Sometimes we go for different intellectual thoughts. And there's no shame in that. Mm-hmm. There's no shame in going for a different level of intellectuality. But Star Wars is 90% pew-pew and 90% deep mythological ideals.
Those percentages add up really well.
It's a weird. It's what I'm saying, dude. It's a fraction that makes no sense.
No.
Star Wars. I'm sorry. Star Wars shouldn't make sense.
No,
it shouldn't be as loved as it is. Go back and read a book about the making of the first one. Everyone thought it was going to fail. Watch the documentary where there's a dude shaking the cockpit of the Falcon instead of hydraulics, and wonder what that dude was thinking.
Yeah,
oh man, this is going to tank. I can't believe I'm having to work on this piece of garbage.
One thing I want to kind of bring up too because it's interesting. There's some things that are technically, and really when you watch it, almost wait a minute, but it's still awesome, is the sequence in Revenge of the Sith where two ships are going by each other, and it's like an old battleship battle. They're not firing above and below. They have to go by each other and just nuke each other.
Like cannons, man.
Yeah, and until who makes it to the other side. Whereas if you really think about...
Fire! Sorry.
When you think about space battle, you could almost think of 360. These things could be coming from below, above, side, at a weird angle, behind, in front. But in Star Wars, they choose to go by each other like pirate ships do.
Yeah, it'd be really cool if this was let's have a guy swinging across to the other ship on a rope, maybe even. All right, George.
That's what
you got a lot of sweet ideas. That was the one time Rick McCallum was like, "All right, George. I'm sorry, I gotta say no on this one, man. Dude, that's not sweet. That's complete drivel."
George is like, I'll include it somewhere later, and he does. Okay. When Al moves to far, he does.
I'll put it at the end of the movie. Yeah, I like the rope swinging.
That's one of them too.
I really want Spider-Man. I really want the Spider-Man in Star Wars. He's got midichlorians. He shoots concentrated midichlorian webs.
Whoa, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but it's pretty sweet, right?
If you think about the whole battle of,
can I do the rest of the episode just like George talking to you?
You want to? Well, there's two things I want to say. It's super duper interesting because thankfully the Rise of Skywalker did something that I never thought they would. Exhaustion after a long lightsaber battle. How much toll it takes on your body, and you obviously can tell Rey is like just done. And like Kylo's about to win, but you watch Revenge of the Sith and you watch these two Jedi Knights, Master and Knight, seriously duke it out for like 25 minutes, and they're over lava. They're over lava. At no point they're like, dying. But we got Rey who's like.
Can you imagine if like George's like, all right, hold on, we gotta make this look real, okay? Can we get some? Let's spritz Ewan. Spritz him so he looks like he's really sweaty.
Yeah.
And then Hayden, you're doing that off.
I just had a crazy realization. The idea of Kenobi and Anakin fighting over lava versus the idea of Kylo and Rey fighting over water.
You haven't put that together yet?
No, I haven't.
Sorry, that sounded really dumb. That sounded like I was making fun of you.
There's a couple of things.
You idiot! You haven't thought of that yet?
Okay, I gotta give a huge shout out. I have to give a humongous shout out. I wish this could be the thing that gets 2 million views, but David Weiser, I don't know his exact name. He has a Twitter page called Film Assessment. I don't know if his tweets have blown up yet, but he made parallels within the whole sequel trilogy. If you have not seen them, Jerry, you're gonna crap your pants. It's an assessment of look it up right now. Look, we'll do it live. I'll send it to you. Right. I'm telling you, him and I met at Celebration. We had been friends way before this. We chatted back and forth on Twitter for a long time. Hold on. His page, Film Assessment, he compiled a bunch of scenes from the entire sequel trilogy, piled them all on top of each other, and he kind of showed like just different moments. Hold on, I'm sending you right now in your Twitter DMs. God, I hope everyone takes a second and looks at these. I'm telling you, it's incredible. All right, Jerry, it should be sent. Okay.
All right.
He takes the parallels in the sequel trilogy. He made a whole thread of them. And it's like Rey grabbing the, hero's blade for the first time.
They have sound too. They have
sound. They do. Versus TLJ whenever she's stuck between Kylo Ren and Rey. And then you look at the bottom one is when Kylo Ren finally gets it. It's all parallels from the same trilogy. So it's from the sequel trilogy. It is, dude, I'm telling you, some are incredible. Like how she leaves a scar on his face and then she heals it later. And then he wrote time heals all wounds. Damn good, man. I'm telling you, there's some parallels I never put together about how they fought together. And then, they fought each other. Then they fought together to defeat a common goal, and then at the end they're fighting on the same side against Palpatine. Dude, it's some analysis I've never made. Or when Rey closes her eyes, how much every time she closes her eyes, she feels the Force so much stronger. When she closes it with before she ends the battle with Kylo in The Force Awakens, then she closes it when she's lifting the rocks.
The saving Ben one is really good.
Dude, the saving Ben one.
We just gotta.
I'm telling you.
I would love to have him on. Like shout this guy out for real. Yeah,
I think I'm going to try to get him on. He has a great review page for films, but I don't know. I guess to kind of wrap up this conversation, I'm sorry we kind of went all over the place with this one. This is more of a hangout than a set episode. And maybe we can put that in the title. It could be what can we call it? Bombadcast. I don't know. It's
lockdown thoughts. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say like, can Star Wars be broken? Lockdown thoughts. Can Star Wars be broken? There you go. You got the title right here.
There we go. Perfect.
In real time.
I'm writing it down.
Pre-recorded.
But
dude, it's just, and this is something I feel like we can bring up with other people too, eventually, and just talk about, because it is such a huge thing. It's like, what can break Star Wars? how do you react how should we react when we feel something breaks it for us? Like how can we break responsibly, and how in the world can we explain these things to people to be like, look, it's okay. Like,
yeah.
If all the Resistance did was fire a bunch of capital ships into stuff with that is like they don't have the means. They don't have the means to do that many hold-on maneuvers.
No.
That shot was 1 in a million. That was not a slight on it in Rise of Skywalker.
Nope.
That was like a saying, no, man, that was great, but that was 1 in a million, man. She took her shot.
Exactly.
And like was a hero. And like that's not like something that can be done. Like going to hyperspace ain't like dusting crops, boy. You could bounce too close to a supernova or like that end your trip real quick, wouldn't it? Anyway, rant over.
Well, it's going to lead really well into our Jakku jargon this week, which we haven't done in a while. So cue the Ray theme, Scotty.
Thanks, Scotty.
No, this is a good one. We've got some great submissions to the Jakku jargon. Jerry, I don't know the original tweet you put out, but I know the responses we got are fantastic. What was the original tweet? Do you remember?
Well, I tweeted out earlier on the day of recording, and I asked, okay, hashtag Bombad fam, hold-on maneuvers and bombs falling in space seem to be sticking points for people's enjoyment of Star Wars, but could anything ever break Star Wars for you? And if so, what? Best answers make it on the show. Be respectful, hashtag stay home, and above all, hashtag stay bombad.
Hey, real quick, you brought up something that I haven't thought about. The idea of enjoyment of Star Wars is interesting because regardless, I really don't think something could completely kill the enjoyment of all of Star Wars or even a movie for me. It would have to be like you said with the Return of the Jedi moment where you said the good side. You know, that is kind of a moment that momentarily, for that brief moment, you're like, okay. But the rest of the movie, you don't watch the final throne room scene between Vader, Palpatine, and Luke and go, oh my God, I can't believe Luke said the good side earlier. You know, it'll momentarily, just for a split second, make you not happy. I love how you phrase that Jakku jargon, Jerry. Thank you, because
no problem. Well, and
it's important that you mention that.
I just gotta say too, it's not even that part makes me unhappy. It's just like I hear it and I go like, oh, well, I would have said light side, but all right.
Yep, boom, done.
To each his own. It's
George. Done, and that's it. And that's all. That's how it should be. You can post about it, and maybe some people have the same feeling as you, but it shouldn't. That really, you've got to have a very strange outlook if that like ruins the entire movie for you. Like, garbage movie. You're a terrific human being. Ruins the entire movie. No, it does ruin that moment that I also don't like.
Right.
It just makes it worse. Makes me not like it more. But then it doesn't ruin the trench run at all. You know? Doesn't ruin the trash compactor. I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant. But we did get some great responses.
Rant. We should just call this Star Wars rants. There you go.
We could. No, we did get some great responses to this Jakku jargon, and our first one's actually our friend, All Remaining Systems, Michael in particular.
Michael,
that posted this. He said, there can be things I dislike, but nothing can ever negate the things I love. Even if Star Wars ever somehow gets to a point where it invalidates all of its core themes and ideas, they can never undo what a great piece of Star Wars content meant to me. That's damn good. That should be like the opening quote for this episode because it's so good. Man. It's just so good because it's
on the
true.
DVD cover, on the back of the DVD cover, like when they pull quotes from like the press and stuff about the movie, you're gonna be a pull quote.
Seriously,
there you go. Yeah, that's a great one, Michael.
Because it's true. I mean, maybe one day we'll get someone making a Star Wars movie that absolutely hated the sequel trilogy, and they'll put like a pile of Kylo Ren's helmets on in the middle of a scene, and you might really find that distasteful and you might hate it, but it's still something. It will never negate how it made you feel watching it in theaters, or whatever the scene you might not like does to you. You know what I mean? That really was phrased horribly, but what I'm trying to get, what I'm trying to get at, it was like it could invalidate all of its core meanings, and they could really go crazy and make Star Wars primarily for white supremacists. But it can never undo what a great piece of or moment of Star Wars does to you personally, on a human level, which is something we're going to talk about in next week's video as well, or audio recording podcast. Jerry, how do you feel about Michael's comment? I think it's amazing.
I love it, and I agree with it. That's honestly, I think that's the core of how I feel too, man.
Yeah.
I really feel like there's never any, like, even again, like I said, with those little parts, there was so much good in the rest of those episodes and stuff that, like, it can, even on, like, first of all, it's a good litmus test. If you can't handle AP5 singing in Rebels, you're probably not going to really enjoy Resistance. But I'm joking. You should check it out.
Well, what's funny? AP5 episode, I believe, was this like the second to last episode or the third last episode in that season. Like, you go from the Ben Kenobi. It was like, pretty sure it was like
there's been a big discussion of filler too recently. Have you noticed? I don't know if you noticed that in the ether. And like, shout out to Yoda Bauer, who of Star Wars Refuge, who put out a brave tweet that was 100% right, and you all proved her point about how the Empire Strikes Back is essentially filler. Because it's like it's all the middle chapters are filler. It's them going through dark stuff. It's like it's the journey. It's not the beginning and end. It's the journey part.
Yeah, and it's like all ultimately, the Harry Potters. The first one sets up the little boy.
The only big thing that happens is that we find out what might be a lie, that Darth Vader is Luke's father.
Yep.
But everything else is 100% like, let's see where Luke, Leia, and Han are. And what happened? Han's in the thing. It's like, I've seen so many episodes of people called filler of everything. I'm ranting now. We've had so many soapboxes in this episode.
It's pretty intense.
But you had I don't know. I'll get off the porch in a sec, I promise. But it's like, I've seen so many episodes that people have been like, oh, filler. That's why I've been like kind of, I guess, salty about the Ahsoka episodes. It's like, dude, Ahsoka, like, that's what I've been waiting for, to see what happened to Ahsoka. And I don't want to just go straight to, I know we're like, people are like, well, it's the last season. I get it. I understand. But at the same time, I'm like, I want to see like what she's doing. And like, there's been so many great moments in these episodes that, again, we'll talk about in our Experience Outranks Everything after our show. But dude, you gotta like, we need to have the spirit of Michael here. What can break Star Wars? Can Star Wars be broken? And he says never. Again, things you can dislike never. Things, but you can never negate the things that you love.
Exactly.
And fill in the blank of what your issue with Star Wars is. It could be a fake one about bombs falling in space. It could be something that is a very real concern. Kelly Marie Tran not getting a lot of time in Rise of Skywalker,
which genuinely kind of upset me. But that's something it didn't break.
You can like things, and you can have opinions and still love things. And Star Wars is a big animal to love. So maybe we should continue, Scotty. Who's our next one?
Our next one, give me 1 second. Our next one was, I believe, from Haley Meyer. Yes.
Haley!
Shapely Buns, great fan of the show. Says Star Wars,
member of the Bombad Fam Facebook group. So hey, Haley, what's up?
She wrote, Star Wars scores have so far been perfect. I don't think I would go see a Star Wars movie if it had a soundtrack that was full of catchy pop tunes from the 2000s. You know what? If it had, I agree with her statement, but honestly, if there was like and we've got it too in its own weird way, for the Galaxy's Edge soundtrack, but if there was a catchy pop tune, but like vocally done as Star Wars, and that can't be the whole movie soundtrack. You know what I mean?
I think she's meaning like what they wanted to do for Star Wars in 1977, which was the trend was to do like have country roads take me home, and like I mean all that song was out by then, right? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it was.
John Denver. Okay, good John Johnny.
Denver. That came out, I believe, in '73. But I'm going to fact check.
It's like if
myself.
you had a Star Wars movie right now, and you were like, who's big now? He's like, hey, Billie Eilish.
Yes.
You want to do a Star Wars? You know,
kind of like the Bond themes. Like kind of like the 71 is when Country Roads came out. But like the Bond themes. Like that's the point of Bond. They usually take the most relevant person at the time and do a music for that. But I would be very upset if I was watching The Phantom Menace and the Backstreet Boys showed up, and not even just in person, but like they almost did. But
like they're the Backstreet.
Yeah. How would
what
the Backstreet
if?
Boys?
Okay, let me set the stage for you, Scott.
Okay, here we go.
We're watching this very epic Rian Johnson Star Wars film. You've got our main character, whoever it is, who've just found out they can wield the Force. They call the lightsaber to their hand as the villain looms over them with their red fiery blade. Yeah. They ignite their blue gold blade. Yeah. I'm trying to get as weird as possible.
I like it.
And as they go to fight, the score kicks in. It
would be epic.
My poker face, my poker face.
It would be epic. But it would not be Star Wars.
Or bop doop da ba doo bop doo da ba. Like with a lightsaber. Can you imagine a lightsaber duel going on with? I mean, it's like people do a lot of really good like edits.
Yes, obviously.
Like the throne room battle from TLJ.
I remember that. That was great.
So, I think my favorite was Don't Stop Me Now. Yes, such a good time.
That was amazing. Oh man, that was like in like May of 2018 after it came out in digital. Everyone started making their own edits of it. That was great. That was great.
Amazing. It would be like if they started, if they started like doing that throne room battle, and this started.
Who died recently, by the way? You heard that?
Yeah.
Sad.
This is our tribute to them.
Sounds of Wayne, the bassist.
Hold on. I gotta turn it off before we get flagged on the YouTube version.
We probably already did.
No. Yeah. Dude, no. But instead they change it to Padme's mom has got it going on, or Benny's mom has got. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. No, it's.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Annie's mom. No. It is
Annie's
one of those.
Mom.
It would be so.
Leia's mom has got.
It would take me.
Oh my gosh! It's the song that keeps on giving, Scotty. Continue with your point.
It would take me out, yes, but I don't know if it would break all of it for me. It would be immediately. It'd be like, wait a second, this is strange.
If Quentin Tarantino goes from like, I don't want to do a Star Trek movie anymore, I want to do a Star Wars movie. Yeah, he would 100% pull that.
Oh,
he would pull.
It'd be badass though. I don't know if it'd be Stacey's mom, but it would be badass.
It would be it would be like some like
obscure
1960s like alt rock song or whatever.
Huge garage rock, yeah. No,
like the very beginnings of punk rock. Like, yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, the next one we got actually, but thank you, Haley. I actually you made a very long conversation. That was a lot.
That was good. Do you mind? If I take this one?
Yeah, take this one. This
I was setting you up. Amazing. I was setting you up because I really love this, like Star Wars line by line.
Great picture, by the way, of the you see it, what is Sebulba? Lord Jesus, Cannon Junkie.
Sebulba, a Doug. Well, it is Sebulba. I think it's like never mind. It is a Doug with a lightsaber.
Oh, it's awesome.
But Star Wars line by line at SW, I'm gonna say IXI. You get me. You get my sense of humor, and so shout out to you. But they said, I love this. If I die before they release the digital version of the theatrical versions, I will no longer be a Star Wars fan. And what is great about that? It's a thinker. It's a thinker.
It is a thinker.
Sit there.
It took me a
Or maybe
moment.
it isn't, and I'm just like, it took me a minute. I was
No,
like,
it did.
Wait. No, yeah, because if you die, then you're just dead. You're not anything. You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you will be dead. You will truly no longer be a Star
Depending
Wars
on
fan.
how you feel about the afterlife, you're like up in heaven or something, going like, come on, man.
They just released
I'm
that.
not watching any more Star Wars.
Throws
God,
Zhao Yao the
can
finger.
you just ban it? Can you just ban it from heaven? Because I can't even right now. So
If I die before they release a digital version of the theatrical version, I will no longer be a Star Wars. It's very clever. I love it. It's super clever.
It's so good. I forget exactly what they said the other day, but it was like about it was about changing that scene with Rey Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
They said, but they would have the creature that the lady is leading be an actual EOP, and then after Rey says Rey Skywalker, the EOP would fart.
I think the point of this comment that was made by Star Wars Line by Line is like, it's almost like the most clever of the sitcom jokes that you laugh at home, but the studio audience didn't click. You know what I mean?
Right,
Or like,
right.
It's one of those side comments that people make that are just like hilarious, but like could never work. But I don't know. I love it because but it's true.
It's the line you give to the character who says nothing but zingers the whole time.
But if you think about it, the digital versions of the theatrical cuts, be it the original trilogy, be it the prequel trilogy, they are all different. And you never know, maybe even in the future we might have there might be some variations between the theatrical cut and the at-home cut that we are not aware of. You know?
Sorry. You said the sitcom thing, and now I can't unsee Michael Scott in a confessional on The Office saying, "If I die before they release a digital version of the theatrical versions of Star Wars, I will no longer be a Star Wars fan." It's just as simple as that. And like I can just see it.
But for that character, it's funny because he's not aware. And then, but for us, it's, I don't know. I don't mean to pick apart. The
it's
humor.
like
it's just
sorry,
great.
no, it's like that. It's like the Michael Scott line. Dude. Okay, I love The Office.
Well, this was a great episode of the Bombad. But also, thank you everyone for really writing in because this was a fun episode conceptually, and when it came out of our mouths, I really enjoyed it. And it's one of these things that's
it came out of the mouth tubes.
Yeah, the mouth tube, the long mouth tube, long. But
the long mouth tube home. That sounds like a.
What is it? What does it sound like?
Title of your porn parody. I don't know.
Here we go. the curtain has fell. Snow's curtain has fell. But this was a good one, and I really hope everyone got a chance to enjoy it. Maybe found something silly that they don't like in Star Wars. If you did, you can always leave a comment under this on YouTube. You can always message us personally, because I'm very interested to hear what some people had their gripes with. But maybe how you coped with the gripe is a big thing too. Yeah. How do you overlook the frustration you have? Because that's a big thing. How can you overlook something that you disliked? Because it's easy to get fixated on it, but it's also easy to kind of overlook it too. That's just me.
You know what I wonder why no one really latched onto it is, why did Snoke have effing curtains in his thing? It was like, I just really like that they make me feel real snazzy. I feel royal.
He is Palpatine.
They make me feel like a true leader.
I'm trying
to do my best. Like
that was pretty good. His cadence is very difficult to me.
Yeah, it's very like, man, Andy Serkis is just, I think he's partially insane in the best way possible, because he's just, that dude's amazing. I love Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
But I have been every voice you have ever heard inside your head. Sorry, that was me being Palpatine. I can do that with my mouth. I did that. That sounds just like all you do is, let me show you, Kylo. Come here, Kylo. I'll show you. Put your hands in front of your mouth. I have no fingers on this hand, but it still works. You see,
All right, let's plug it and
it's
leave.
called Foley. It's called Foley work. I used to work with Ben Burt.
That would probably break it. That would probably break it for me.
I worked with my old master, Burt.
Bet.
Anyway, guys. So, yeah, follow us if you're still there at the Bombadcast on all social medias. I think I made Scotty. I think Scotty ran away or something because I embarrassed myself. So hi, we're gonna just go ahead and see yourself out. So Scott, hey, what's up? You're back? Are you back?
Oh, I'm back. I'm sorry. I was busy wiping my butt with
Your throne of toilet paper
with my fingernails.
What the heck? Oh, I caught a trout in the stream out back, and it's just like we ran out of toilet paper 6 days ago. It's been terrible.
Anyway,
Anyway, guys.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on this wonderful excursion. Next time, we'll take you to the beaches of Cozumel. But we have a very exciting announcement coming up in I guess right now. Currently, we have an amazing guest for next week's episode. So by the time of recording this, we haven't done our session yet, but we are super excited to talk about the DNA of Star Wars with the one and only a new member coming in of the one and only club, and that is Ken Knapsack himself from Force Center and formerly from Collider Jedi Council. So that's been a hero of Jerry and I's since.
I love the cadence of your voice, how much it changed when you went from Force Center to Jedi Council.
I mean, it's a tremendous loss because he was the most amazing person on it. I just loved having him on there.
The best on there, and everyone on there did great. But yeah, you're right. Like, dude, how
this is a dream
psyched are
for
you?
us. Oh my God,
we're just knocking all of them off the list.
I know.
Like, who do we want to do a podcast
people
with?
we love and people we admire are just coming onto our show now, and it's just like,
watch your back, Joseph Scrimshaw and Jennifer Landa. We're coming for you next.
Yes. I'm just, I don't know. Maybe. I feel so lucky to have people like this on our show, and what a better topic for him. So we're super stoked about that. But you can find me at Scotty Jero on Twitter, or the Scotty Jero on Twitter. Pretty much if you just look up my name some way, you'll find it. Same with Bombadcast. You can also find Jerry at the Canon Junkie, or maybe just Canon Junkie. I don't remember. We
at
do these.
The Canon Junkie.
We plug, like, it's so funny. I feel like we have to do this. I feel like it's a podcast tradition, but like I'd imagine most people know how to find this if they haven't. I don't know. Maybe I'm naive.
You never know.
It's
you never know if someone's showing up who has
description.
never like listened to a podcast before, doesn't know what social media is.
Imagine
like, if they exist. They exist.
Imagine if this episode was not only someone's first episode of the Bombadcast. Imagine if this was their first Star Wars podcast, and imagine if this was their very first podcast ever. I would almost feel kind of bad.
They'd be like, well, I'm done with podcasts forever.
This was ridiculous. Could you imagine?
But what was I going to say? You can... I don't know what I was going to say now, man. This is completely off the rails again, which is our MO. But... Yeah, you guys can follow us at Bombadcast and all that stuff. You know where to find us. But Scotty, we just passed another milestone.
We did. What was it?
As of this recording, we are past 800 followers on Twitter.
Yes,
which it's just on Twitter, and I know it's like,
what?
That's just on Twitter, but like, it's a thing. It's a thing.
It is a thing for
us. Followers
us.
you get on Twitter, I think the more serious the Last Jedi trolls take you. And so we're waiting. We're almost there, Scotty. We almost have enough followers for them to start like bombing our tweet threads.
I can't wait.
So
it's
gonna be great. It's gonna be just like all the apparent ancient Polynesian chieftains who are looking for virgins to throw into volcanoes in our YouTube comments because we get called virgins a lot on there. That'd be so funny.
I got
It's like,
another
are you
one.
guys, like,
This is my absolute new
you gotta
favorite
have a sacrifice?
one. I love the way this was typed. Okay, this is from a guy named Thomas Craig. This is a new one, by the way. He said, he obviously got abused when he was young, and half of them are also 80%. Remember, it's just a film, people. Then cry emoji, a emoji of a cucumber being cut and water coming out of it, and little drops of water. Does that mean my dick got cut off?
I'm kind of confused on the cucumber. It's a cucumber? Is he trying to say it turned him on? Like,
I don't know. It's a cucumber being cut up and water's coming out of them. I love I obviously got abused. I can't
tell you how many times well, let's not go there. But I can't tell you how many times I've been cutting up a cucumber to put into a lasagna and like been crying because of the fumes coming off the cucumber. Why? Could you not find the onion emoji? Is there an onion emoji? I don't really get. We're gonna have to. If you guys know what that is, if we haven't figured it out by the release of this episode, we're going way over time. So tweet at us and let us know what a cut up cucumber means about someone crying.
These new comments have been incredible.
Liking a movie. These
they are amazing, man.
That's
God.
That's great. Well, enjoy your self-isolation, guys. Hope it's going great.
Yeah, seriously, we love y'all. If y'all need anything from us, you let us know. We'll put out as much content as we can. If you want us to just balance things on our noses, we'll do that. Honestly, it's driving us just as crazy as you are for listening to this. But thank you so much for everyone joining. And Gerald the Cannelled Junkled, what should the wonderful people do? What should they do?
I love how you turn into Paul Rudd from I Love You, Man.
Oh,
like sometimes we're like,
great movie.
How's it going, Jobin? pretty good.
Pretty good.
How's it going? How's it being? Or something like it's funny. I do it all the time too. You can follow us at the Bombad Fam. Follow us on all our social medias. You can follow us on all of the platforms. And until next time, stay home and stay bombad.
You began it with a burp and you ended it with a burp. It's just like
I went full Phantom Menace. That's what I'm calling it now.
Oh, Jerry. Let me stop my recording.
Welcome to Star Wars Line by Line.